A brand new video on Fiiber and two new, not really new, this one is an old one. So this is a comparison video. Yes, we have two phones with us. One is the Moto Edge 60 Fusion, the new phone in the Fusion lineup. And on my right is the contender, the Nord CE4, a tried and tested mid-ranger in the Indian market. Now the question here is, if you're looking for a phone in the sub 25k category, you usually go online and pick for choices. I can guarantee you that these two phones will definitely pop up in your search results, which is why we are getting you a quick comparison between these two devices. Hey guys, I'm Cyrus. You're watching Fiiber by India today, and this is a quick video, a comparison between the Moto Edge 60 Fusion and the Nord CE4. First up, let's talk about what's the obvious here, the design. I know the phones are standing right here, and as you can see, the color, the kind of texture that the Moto has looks a bit superior than compared to the glossy finish of the OnePlus. Now, I understand the new age design, the vegan leather finish at the back and the hands feel, the overall quality looks better on the Moto because their partnership with Pantone gives them an advantage in terms of the color quality, because you kind of see this color mostly in flagship devices. And I have been using the device for a while now, and I've kind of started liking it a lot. So yes, I like the new age design of the Moto, but I also like the practicality that the CE4 brings. Yes, it's not flamboyant or extravagant. It's a very simple, plain, glossy finish at the back, which doesn't look bad, by the way, and more like a boxy design philosophy is what you get with the CE4. However, there are people in the market who like simplicity, and for them, this is a good device. Now, talking about the width, both are in the sub 8.2, 8.34 millimeters thickness, but this is a thinner device, and when you hold it in the hand, you kind of feel that you're holding something very lightweight and something that has good hands feel. So if overall design is something that should be a priority for you, then this is a new age design, has the protection of a military grade testing that Moto has done, and also IP68 and 69 dust and water resistance with this one. So even if it falls into the water, you don't have to worry about it, it's protected. The Moto isn't getting you that kind of protection because it comes with IP54 dust and water resistance, which basically, if it falls into the water, it might not survive. So be a little careful with this one. However, it is a strong device. We've been using it for almost a year now, and I think in terms of durability, my choices pivot towards this, and yeah, not so much towards this. So like I said, in terms of the weight and the heft, totally I pivot in this direction. 177.5 grams and 186 grams, so more comfortable to hold and use in terms of daily work. Moving on to the display, both come with 6.7-inch displays, AMOLED, beautiful contrast, everything is perfectly packed into both these devices. However, the difference kind of lies in how they've been made. This is a quad curve display, curves on all sides, whereas the CE4 is a flat display. Now, the choices differ here. Gamers, I've heard in the past, prefer flatter displays, lesser ghost touches, and more accuracy in terms of your touch frame rate. However, for people who like aesthetics more, who like a more elegant looking display and feel that curved displays are still in, you should definitely try the Moto. Rest, in terms of resolution and clarity, both are almost on par with what you expect from standard good looking devices in the mid-range. So if you want them for gaming, content, daily work, these are absolutely fantastic displays and you will not have a problem. The difference, however, lies in the brightness of the two, because the Moto offers you 4500 nits of peak brightness, whereas the CE4 offers you 1100 nits, and the difference only lies on paper. When I took them outside, when I was using them, you hardly find a difference. So yes, while on numbers the CE4 does lose, but in terms of practicality, both are equally good. Also remember, you are getting 120 Hz of refresh rate on both these devices, so the animations that you find on your displays when you're gaming, when you're scrolling, will be equally good on both these displays. So I would rate both of them same when it comes to the display department, so nothing to differ here. Performance, again, something very major in terms of how these devices will perform. On the Moto, you're getting the Dimensity 7400 chipset, and on the CE4 you're getting the Snapdragon 7 Gen 3. Now, I'm not saying that these phones will be able to run high definition, high-end gaming for long hours, or you'll be able to bombard them with applications and they'll be smooth in the long run. No, it doesn't work like that. However, if you are using them judiciously with basic daily tasks, your WhatsApps, your Instagrams, and if you're casually gaming maybe a couple of rounds of BGMI or Call of Duty, both these devices are equally capable. The difference kind of lies in how you are using them, because the UI and UX are different. The Moto offers you a clean Android experience. Yes, it's on top of the Moto skin that Motorola offers. You get these bundled AI features, and the overall look and feel kind of very different, very new age compared to what you get with the Oxygen OS support for the CE4, because it seems more minimalistic. The icon pack isn't that extravagant. You still get software support, which is good with the CE4, but in terms of how they look and feel, in terms of customizations, I would say it's just based on the user. More practical, more easier to customize. Yes, more practical Android support, Google ecosystem, but looks a bit funky. That's the advantage. Rest in terms of storage, 256 GB of storage option right here with 8 GB of RAM. You get 128 GB here, the starting pack, but RAM options obviously differ for both of these devices. You get more app options here, but expandable storage is available for both. So yes, storage options will not be a problem for you. Software updates won't be a problem. Processing for mid-rangers, I think both these devices are equally efficient. The one minor difference could be with the kind of UFS technology, because UFS 3.1 with the CE4 and 2.2 with the Moto, this is basically for people who want to dive into the intricacies, how data is transferred within the devices and how quickly the memory will get the data. That's basically the gist of it, but it doesn't really matter in the long run in the daily life of how you use applications. Moving to the camera of both these devices, 50 megapixel primary sensor on both the phones, which again we will show you the samples and you can decide which you feel is better. But the ultra wide sensor is where the difference lies. 13 megapixel on the Moto and 8 megapixel on the CE4. Now, in terms of having a good camera setup, both are efficient. However, you can see the samples. Yes, the difference lies in how they are mixing the colors, how they're balancing the contrast, the dynamic range. Overall, I think the photo philosophy of Moto looks a bit different, because remember, ISPs are different and the way they process images is also going to be different. We have used the CE4 in the past. We were happy with the camera. The Moto is a new product in the market, and we feel that again it is one of the best camera setups that you can get in the sub 25K category. Video recording 4K 30 FPS capped at the back, but the big difference here is on the front. 32 megapixel selfie camera on the Moto, whereas with the CE4 you get 16 megapixels. And the most disturbing bit about this phone is that you only get video recording up to 1080p 30 FPS. Now, this is where the advantage is with the Moto, 32 megapixels front camera and also 4K 30 FPS recording. So for people who create content, for people who do a lot of video work with their smartphones, this is the better choice. Moving to the battery, 5500 mAh on both of these devices, but the big difference maker is the charging speed. 100 watt fast charging with the Nord and 68 watt with the Moto. Now, the chargers come within the box, so you don't have to worry about that, but that little extra fast charging, if that really matters, then only the Nord makes sense. Otherwise, with the kind of form factor that you're getting, the thinner phone, same battery capacity, this is also a good option to have. In the end, I think the difference will lie on what and how you feel when you're holding both the devices. It looks a bit new age, feels new age, and this seems more practical. And I think both of these phones are good enough for the aesthetics and the battery they provide. But in the end, it just boils down to you which one you prefer in the hand. Prices for both these devices online around 23,000. Yes, the starting variant is 128 GB for the Nord, whereas the starting variant for the Edge 60 Fusion is 256 GB. But again, I think it's a comprehensive deal that you're getting with both of these phones. And if you are looking for a phone in the sub 25k category, definitely consider these two. We've given you the differences, we've given you the pros and cons, and your final buying decision is totally on you. We're just here to support that and help you out make that final call. But yeah, I mean, these are good phones. So this was a quick comparison between the CE4 and the 60 Fusion. Let us know in the comment section which of these two devices you find is a better deal in the sub 25k category. If you have any other comments and inputs for us, please let us know in the comments. We'll be back with more comparisons like these in the other price segments because they are also important. So yeah, just hang in there. This is Cyrus signing off. I'll be back very soon.